To me, it's just one state championship at a time. It's not about me, it's about these kids right here. When we started the playoffs this year, we told our guys we have a chance to do some really unique things if we can get to the state title and win it. We played the last year at Normal, the first year at Illinois, the last year at Illinois, and now the first year at NIU. Winning the Class 7A state title, I believe we're the first school in history to win the state championship in 4 different classes. We won it in 5A, 6A, now 7 and 8A. And I think all that accomplishment goes to these guys up here, the great players before them. And we always talk about, it's not about talent, it's about team, and our toughness has to transcend any talent we may or may not have. And I tell you, I think Sam and the other captains did a great job in their leadership role this year. It's very easy to become complacent, but I think with the leadership of the staff and the senior leaders, that never did happen. Enough credit never gets given to all of the coaches. I had told Tim outside last Saturday, we got back rather late from Edwardsville. Our coaches stayed till after 1 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning, preparing for this game. They were all back at school by 8 a.m. I left 6 p.m. Sunday night. The defensive coaches left about 6:30. It's always important to us that our kids feel that they're not going to be outworked and they're not going to be out-prepared. We may be out-talented from time to time, but you're going to be hard-pressed to outwork our kids and out-prepare them.
Questions?
Frank, was this the best defense you've ever had?
I don't like using the term the best, but I will say it's one of the best without a doubt. We've had some very good defenses, and these guys are right up there with some of those. But I don't like to term anybody the best, because you make that one group happy, and I get 1,000 phone calls from all the other kids who played before them.
How important was it to convert on some of those turnovers to kind of set the tone early for you guys?
Without a doubt, I think that set the tempo for the entire game, and we always tell our kids that's what great teams do. They take advantage of their opportunities, they take advantage of turnovers and turn those turnovers into points. Just like last week, we started fast, scoring the first 3 times we had the ball, and then we're able to set the tempo early tonight. And one of the things we talk to our kids about in big games like this is try and dominate the game, win the day, and toward the end, try and send the other team's fans home early, which means you're dominating the game, and you've set a standard and a tempo that people are just going to say, you know what, we're not going to beat Mount Carmel today.
Can you talk about Marco's progression throughout the season?
Fortunately for us, Marco, I think, saved his best for just about the last. He had a great game, the opening of the playoffs. You know, we had some struggles throughout, but, you know, he very easily could have said, you know, I'm a left-handed pitcher, I have a future in big pitching, I'm going to forego baseball, but he and I sat down, had some really long, hard talks, and he had some struggles this year. Excuse me, just like all of our guys did. But I think he got a phone call from Jordan Lynch last night. I think Jordan talked to him a couple of weeks ago. And when you're part of the process and you know you have a great lineage to follow, it's hard not to follow their lead. And we're just so fortunate to have those guys. And I guess, you know what, when we need to, we really can pass the ball. Right, Marco? Say right, Coach. Right, Coach.
Frank, what made this defense one of the best then?
Well, in football, it all starts right up front, Mike, on offense and defense. I think our defensive line, you have 2 guys who are going to go play in the Big Ten next year, and DeAndre next year from now, he could very possibly do that as well. Also, Kevin could possibly do that. Our outside backers, Bob and Sam, and our inside backers, Troy and Sam here, you know, doing a great job. Bobby over there, Nick over there, I'm sorry, outside backer. It starts up front. It really does. You can have the best secondary in the world, but if you can't put pressure on the quarterback and you can't stop the run, that doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And same thing on the other side of the ball. Marco would tell you, I tell him this every year when we get to the playoffs, because of our style of offense and the things we do, because we're not a spread and have, you know, guys running around all over the place offense. Teams get 4 days to prepare for what we're going to do, and we've been working on it for 4 months. So if we make good decisions, which Marco did tonight, and we don't turn the ball over, you know, we're gonna be pretty tough to beat, particularly with our defense, because there weren't gonna be very many teams that were gonna drive the ball 80, 90 yards against our defense this year. You'd have to tell me, I had to get a chance to watch our defense. I'm usually on the bench talking to the offense. So I guess you'd have to tell me how our defense did tonight, other than the shutout. But I think that's a team effort as well, because the kicking game kept the field tilted, and offensively, I felt like, you know, we had some decent drives where we kept the ball out of their hands, which then forces them to put pressure on their own people, because it's gonna limit their number of opportunities.